Hello students, today I am recording this video for discussion of the answer of our task 1 which is uploaded some days before. So question 1 which includes 5 MCQs, in which the first was the circular motion is a blank space in nature and the options were accelerated, periodic, deaccelerated or A and B both. The correct answer is the option D, A and B both. The circular motion is accelerated as well as periodic in nature. As any object follows a circular path at every time, suppose our particle point P is at this condition, after some point it will be here, after some time it will be here, after some time it will be here, so that every time its tangential velocity v is changing its direction. Hence change in direction make it accelerated. And again every time our this object travels from this, then circulate along this path and again come back to this position, so that we can also say that this particular task is periodic. The second question was the direction of omega is always along and options are axis of rotation, radius vector, centripetal acceleration and last tangential to circular path. So the every time this direction of omega is belong to the axis of rotation. According to our right hand rule, when the curved finger shows the sensation of rotation, then the outstretched thumb shows the direction of angular velocity, which is the axis of rotation. Now imagine if this is the circular path following this sense of rotation, so that our curved fingers will look like this and outstretched thumb will be upward, which is the axis of rotation. And again if the direction is reversed, now the curved fingers will like this, the outstretched thumb is now downward, which is also along the axis of rotation. The third question is which is responsible for a circular motion, and the options were radius vector, centripetal force and the last one is none of this. Every time if a circular motion is happening, only centripetal force is responsible for that motion. Every time when an object is undergoing the circular motion, every time this particle is always seeking towards center. That's why it is following this circular path continuously. If they are failed to follow this circular path, they will go outward. That will be a centrifugal force, or you can also know that force as pseudo force. But to maintain the circular motion, we every time require a centripetal force for it. Then the next question was fourth. The magnitude of tangential velocity is changing, and options were UCM, non-uniform circular motion, centripetal acceleration, or D, none of above. Where this magnitude of tangential velocity, that means every time on each particular rotation the magnitude is changing, that means it is increasing or decreasing. That means every time a circular path followed by that object is not following the same time period for each rotation, and if this is occurring, that means the particular circular motion is non-uniform, hence option B is correct. Then the next question was fifth one, the weight component and its normal reaction is always, and options were along with each other, second opposite to each other, third one was inclined with an acute angle only, and D depends on the situation provided. The correct answer is the last one, depends on the situation provided. Now imagine our object is on a horizontal surface like this. That means its weight component mg is acting downward and the normal reaction is acting exactly opposite. This time they are opposite to each other. But if our object is at inclined surface like this. Now this time the weight component is acting downward, but the normal reaction will act perpendicular to the surface. That means here again this weight component and normal reaction is having a different angle. Here also they are having a different angle, which shows the relation between this normal reaction and the weight component depends on the situation provided. The theoretical questions were 5, from which you have to attempt 4. The first question was define centripetal and centrifugal forces with their vector forms. As very of the students have attempted this question very correctly. The centripetal force is the force which is providing the acceleration, centripetal acceleration, which is responsible for a circular motion, is known as centripetal force, and its vector form is minus m omega square r, in which that r is a vector, but that omega is defining the angular velocity and r is our radius vector. And the centrifugal force, in which that force is responsible for every time a particle is seeking a force which is away from the center, which is known as centrifugal force. The second question was what is the role of static friction for a vehicle on road. As every one of you know, the static friction is very much responsible for maintaining the centripetal force or maintaining the contact between the tire and the road. While any vehicle is taking a turn, that friction is also providing that centripetal force, in which the vehicle can avoid the skidding or skipping from the road and can be driven safe. The third question was draw the FBD, which is free body diagrams, of a vehicle running on road as well as in a well of depth. Most of the students have attempted this question, in which the normal component, weight component, friction component, as well as on road as well as on the well of death, which has to be drawn by you. Just like the on road surfaces, if a vehicle is going, and if this is a front view or a back view of a vehicle, this one is the weight component of that vehicle. At the same time, the normal reaction provided by the road, static friction, if it is taking a turn, it is going towards center, friction part, and in the well of death, like any object is traveling inside the well of death, this much, this one will be the weight component, and the normal reaction provided by that surface will be like this, making a 90-degree angle with it. The next question was if a static friction loss between tire and road, what will be the result and why? Obviously, if the static friction losses, then the vehicle will skid from the road, because it will not maintain any kind of centripetal force if it is taking any turn. It will not maintain the resistance or friction between the tire and road, so that the vehicle can skid or can toggle on the road. The last question was derive the expression for the maximum speed of vehicle on a horizontal road. As here you can see, this weight component is acting downward, at the same time this normal reaction is acting upward because of this road surface. This static friction is between this road and the tire of the vehicle, so that according to the components, this mg will be equal to the normal reaction n, and this static friction force which is responsible for providing the centrifugal force, sorry, centripetal force, which will balances the centrifugal one, so that which is given in the form of magnitude as mr omega square, which is again can be replaced as mv square upon r, so that this both values, this mg is equal to and f is equal to mr omega square or mv square upon r, can provide us the relation like fs upon n, which will be given as mr omega square divided by mg, so that this m will get cancelled, and then it becomes r omega square upon g, which is again replaced as v square upon rg. So that particular this term, this fs upon n, which gives the coefficient of friction, which can be replaced as mu. This again according to this v square upon rg. Hence for v square only the relation becomes mu rg. We only require the value of v, so that we will take the square root. V will be equal to under root of mu r g. This is the required expression. So this was the model answer of our task 1. I hope it will benefit you for your upcoming studies. So students, those who have attempted the correct answers, and for those who have not attempted the whole questions correctly, they can refer this video so that you can use this for our upcoming studies. Thank you.